Yo, what's up YouTube? It's your boy Damontae bringing you a banger. Don't forget to go follow on my Twitch, please. Here you will never miss out on daily payday content. The ex-president's Akimbo build. And the abilities look like this. Point Break. While your armor is up, you can store health with the kills that you and your team produce. The Emerging Force. It increases the amount of health stored, and you also gain a 10% to your HP value. Life of Ice, and it increases your maximum health that can be stored once again by 50%, and you also gain another 10% HP. Awakening Earth, it increases the amount of health stored by 20% and more HP, totaling up to a 40% now and complete. Lastly, the Perfect Line. Killing an enemy speeds up your armor regen time, and it's based on how much armor you are missing. More armor missing means, a faster regen, but if you have armor available, then it's going to not be as fast as, it would be if you did not. For Akimbo pistols, it is possibly one of the best ways to play the build. The damage output with pistols, with the fire rate that they produce, is such a high amount of damage in short bursts. Crowd control is very easy with Akimbos. You just don't really need to just hold trigger down, but more of just short taps and bursts to clear out the cops. Now obviously if you need to hold trigger down on like a dozer, perfectly valid. Just make sure that you hit the ammo bag afterwards, because you'll probably have maybe dumped a good amount of ammo. The secondary I use here is about 100 damage pistol, which I'm using the 5.7. Could be any of the 100 damage ones. I just went for this one because it has a pretty big mag for the damage tier that it's using, which it hits still pretty decent damage at range, but comes mostly in handy with if I'm needing to shoot at a distant cop that's shooting at me. Because if the Akimbos are being used in this scenario, I'm gonna have to spray a lot more ammo that's going to be needed. The 5.7 comes in handy fighting against like dozers. I can pop them through the walls, which plus it has a good damage yield. I also am bringing the 5.7 mostly just for shields. It is a good tool inside of Death Sentence to have. It also comes in handy, as I mentioned just previously, with shooting through walls to hit your bullseye skill. It can be really handy with hitting dozers faceplate and then pushing them with the Akimbos afterwards. Lastly, we have ammo bags here for constantly having access to heals inside the perk deck, because we'll be able to kill things, and if we have access to constantly giving us ammo so that we can constantly be killing things in a perk deck that is constantly giving us HP, that's how the things are working together here. So, let's go over the skills for the build here. I grabbed Stable Shot for the stability increase for, Akimbos, obviously. Next, I'm grabbing things like Resilience, Die Hard, Shock and Awe, and Bullseye, so that I can get my passive armor regions up with the Shock and Awe and Resilience skill. Then I'm grabbing Bullseye for another form of armor regen. Next, I'm grabbing things like Extra Lead, Bullet Storm, and Fully Loaded, as I've previously covered in another ex-president's video, my actual video. Body Expertise is in this build because automatic weapons are affected by the damage boost here, so therefore the pistols are going to be fired in automatic mode. We also have Surefire here, because Surefire is going to be making my weapons pierce through enemy body armor, because pistols are a ranged weapon. Next, I'm grabbing a 10% dodge increase. Since ex-presidents does offer us some dodge, we will be working with it. I'm also grabbing myself max crits inside the build. Lastly, we do grab the pistol skills here because, Kimbo skills, pistols, it kind of works together here. And we also grab another ammo increase to our total capacity. Now, you can choose multiple different, automatic pistols in this scenario. I went for the CZEK. These ones, if you were to look at the 3 that came out in this DLC, these ones were like the middle ground of the damage tier, so therefore, that's why I went for them. They kind of deal good damage, they kind of hold their own, that's it. If you use the lighter damage ones, it shoots faster and it holds its own, but the heavy damage ones, shoot a little bit slower, but they hold their own. It's the cause with all three of them. You can use any of them. The Sicario barrel, though, more specifically is used for the laser here. I went for the champion suppressor. Next, I go for the accuracy increase. You want these things to be laser beams. I go for the micro laser, being cautious of my detection risk. Go for the grip, the cartel. You can go for if you need to, but I actually went for the Sicario. Inside the mags, do you need to go for the extended mag, and or you're going to be reloading these things constantly. As for your secondaries, I've already mentioned that you can choose through a couple of these 100 damage tiers, but the 5.7 is going to be proven to be the best since it has a AP ability. I'm going for the 10 treated barrel, the accuracy and stability increases. I go for the, however you pronounce it, suppressor. Mostly just for the concealment and the accuracy increases. Next, I'm going for a concealment increase, being mindful of my detection risk. For gadget, same thing here with the micro laser. As for the magazine, it doesn't affect anything other than just the magazine count, so therefore we went for it. As for the sights, you technically can go for this one. It just minuses some stability. I didn't really want to lose out on it, so I just kept no sights. This perk deck has one of the fastest HP regens in the game. It nearly is on the level of Kingpin when we're talking HP regen, capable of claiming 210 HP in a singular armor regen. Now that's assuming that you and your team have been killing things enough to where you have stacked your HP to the fullest inside of a suit. Now that's where you'll get 210 HP fully regened. This build has a passive armor regen, which is tied to every build that has an armor value, other than two, builds in the game. We also are using Bullseye inside this build, and then lastly, we are having the Perfect Line perk ability skill, which is in the end result 3 forms of armor regen that you're working with. Now that's powerful. Prez can heal off of its own life regen given just from the perk deck itself with not much of an issue at all. Even if you don't have teammates that are easily killing things for you, you can still easily survive off of the smaller heals that the deck is giving you. Instead of getting a full 210 HP regen, you can survive off the 40, the 60 HP, every time that you get a regen. That is totally possible. First aid kits are a limited form of healing, plus X-Presence doesn't necessarily need other life, regen forms in its deck, but it certainly does make it easier to play when you include things like first aid kits and hostage taker, obviously. It'll make things, a lot easier in the sense of getting back to full HP as well, because you'll either have more HP left over with the Joker, or you'll have first aid kits to easily get you back up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this build video. I do enjoy playing X-Presidents, and a viewer had asked me to make an Akimbo pistol build, so this is the only thing I could really think of is, X-Presidents would work out really well. You need ammo bags. This build kind of, fits that kind of description to at least my point of view. Thanks for watching. You guys have a good one.